Hello viewers, welcome back to the channel. And by the video title, you know what this video is about. Discussing some more brandonaiyuk news as well. As you guys know, the news has been circulating a lot around speculations of him getting traded to the Steelers, him getting traded to the Patriots. We've seen the Browns on there. We've seen all type of things. The Commanders, they said now, remember I mentioned earlier a couple of days ago, the Commanders pulled out. They said the Patriots pulled out yesterday too. They said the Patriots was offering him more money because they have more money to give. They said the reports that he didn't want to go to the New England Patriots either. His site is set on the Steelers, and I guess the Browns are still in play as well too. So we'll see exactly where he lands. But most of the things in the article they've been talking about, they were discussing some of the things about brandonaiyuk. They seen on Tuesday after the Steelers effectively dropped out the picture. Aiyuk made it clear during the offseason that Pittsburgh was among his preferred destinations in the trade. The 49ers gave Aiyuk camp permission to negotiate with those teams, and he's already what they offering, and Aiyuk did not show much interest in joining the Browns or the Patriots. Based off reports, the Browns remain in play for now, though still. But if the 49ers and Steelers work out an agreement on their end, it will not be a surprise if he chooses to accept a lesser contract proposal to leave San Francisco for Pittsburgh. Coach Kyle Shanahan stated the obvious Tuesday when he asked if there is a way for the 49ers to trade Aiyuk and be an improved team for the upcoming 2024 NFL season. He said, "Brandon is a great player." He said, "So it's really hard to be a better when you lose a great player." While the exact terms of any potential trade are not known, here's a level of compensation the 49ers could expect to get in return for Aiyuk. And some people are speculating that maybe, they were talking about this too, talking about George Pickens maybe being inside the trade as well. I don't like that. I would prefer to have brandonaiyuk with the George Pickens. You don't want to trade one of the guys you want to have him play with like that, the receiver duo. But they was mentioning Alex Highsmith as one of the candidates as well that could possibly be in a trade. I wouldn't like, now if Herbig was he played pretty good his rookie season, but if Herbig was like real good rookie season when he had like 6 or 7 sacks, then I'd be like, okay, I'd be for it. You trade Alex Highsmith and you have Herbig step up. I think Herbig could step up and do it, but I think it might hurt the team and like trading Alex Highsmith for the way he's playing and he's in his prime right now. So I think most likely the Steelers will probably just trade just picks really, and since they gotta pay him that big money, they could maybe be a 2nd round pick, 3rd round pick, and maybe something else, a 7th or something for the following year after, or something, maybe a 2nd of this year and 3rd of this coming year as well, then maybe a 4th of next year. So we'll see exactly what the Steelers will do. But brandonaiyuk asking price, like I mentioned before, it's gonna probably start at the basis of at least 4-year deal with $100 million, with at least starting at $25 million in talks. But there's a lot of speculation that it might be starting from $30 million. They said up to north of $30 million like that. So I haven't seen the Steelers pay a receiver like that before. I know they paid Antonio Brown. He was the highest paid receiver, but he's generational talent. So them paying brandonaiyuk now in the long run, it will work out because he's a young player, of course. A young player, young talent, very good player as well. But we'll have to see if the Steelers exactly like do that, because there's a lot of just rumors right now, and we don't know the exact report. We've seen a lot of people saying the source that the Steelers are willing to pay him the $30 million. Do you ask them, like, what source is it? And there's no source. You know, it's a source they made it up in their sleep like that. It's a source of themselves. They are the source like that. Like, well, what type of connections do you have? No connections at all. So you got to kind of wait and see exactly what happens. This right here article is from NBC Sports, so it's a little credible in a sense. But you're trying to see exactly what the Steelers would be willing to trade for brandonaiyuk. See another article, of course, from the Steelers Depot, of course, like they have all the different things in there, and they were discussing some things. Maybe the Steelers trade up close to north of $30 million. The Steelers probably could maybe like pay him less, than the $30 million that he's looking for, maybe, because he want to go there as well too. So they might have a little leverage in that sense if they find the right thing. But I think it's mostly getting the right picks right, because the Steelers, of course, traded first round pick before many years ago when they traded for Minka Fitzpatrick, and it turned out well. You know, he was I think 3-time first team All Pro, 3 straight years, and he also was a 4-time Pro Bowler. He's been playing very good football with us, so it turned out well. But are Steelers willing to do that and trade a 1st round pick and then also be willing to pay that big money? Because Minka was only 1 year into his NFL career. You know, after his rookie season, he got traded after, so it was still like very early on like that. He could work on negotiation later down the line and have to focus on that too much. But seeing brandonaiyuk, and you trade for him, you have to pay him that big money. We're going to see exactly if the Steelers will pay him that big money. I think it'd be a good addition, because you look at the way our team is set up. Of course, like I mentioned before in the previous video, Roman Wilson being on the team, I think the Steelers do a good job of developing receivers. So I wouldn't be surprised if Roman Wilson developed as a good receiver in the long run and became a good player, because the Steelers always do that. They draft receivers in low rounds, maybe higher rounds, and they always emerge to be good. George Pickens, Chase Claypool, Jesse Johnson, all these different guys who came in the previous years turned out to be pretty good receivers. But adding a guy like brandonaiyuk will help the receiving core a lot. You know, you have George Pickens, who's on the verge of becoming one of those superstar receivers. His first year, he had 800 plus yards. The following year after, he went out there and put up 1,100 yards. I think this year have a big year too as well. And you have Brandonaiyuk on the other side, going to increase your stuff even more. But in the long run, will you be able to keep both of those guys around? Because George Pickens is on the 3rd year of his contract. Next year, you probably be seeking an extension, like that. So we see exactly what the Steelers will do. Or T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, and Jamar Chase. Remember those 3 guys was all together. And Tyler Boyd, I think he's still free agent if I'm not mistaken. And T. Higgins, he got franchise tag by the Bengals to stay, but they can't really pay him that big money. And they got to pay Jamar Chase the big money too as well. So it's kind of hard to keep 2 big, high-paid receivers on the outside like that for you. So I don't know exactly what the Bengals gonna do. They still be in that same situation if they do trade for brandonaiyuk. They're gonna be willing to pay George Pickens, and then you gotta pay Justin Fields, because Justin Fields the following season next year we'll see exactly what it gonna be, like the contract gonna be after he only had a 1-year deal left on his deals. And then Russell Wilson, what if he plays well and then the Steelers decide, Russell Wilson helped us get to, for example, like the AFC Championship game or something. You never know what can happen. I think he plays well, and he'd be like, he helped us get there. We want to bring him back for next year. And Justin Fields. Do you have enough money to do that and pay for George Pickens? And you still got to worry about Najee Harris. I think his contract might be a little more lighter than the other contracts as well. So it's a lot of just like news. But I think Mr. Khan will do the right thing most likely, because he has had the best interest for the Steelers. He did a good job the past 2 years as the GM. And that was Kevin Colbert. Kevin Colbert in the young days, yes. But Kevin Colbert, he did do a good job with the Minka Fitzpatrick trade. But Kevin Colbert, I feel like in the later parts of his career, kind of got a little washed up a little bit. But we'll see exactly what Omar Khan do, what Coach Tomlin do. I know Coach Tomlin said something. They asked him about brandonaiyuk and asked him about some receivers and stuff as well. They said head coach Mike Tomlin was asked on 102.5, I guess a little radio station show, if he had any notable phone calls this morning. And he said it's a little early on the west side right now, so probably not. So, Coach Tomlin always very good with the words. We're always very good with the cliches and everything too. So you can see how I want. You be like, maybe joking, being sarcastic, joking, or maybe he's serious. You never know. I think of the way he always talk. He give you information, but he'll only give you enough for the suspense. He don't give you everything like that. Though I love Coach Tomlin like that. He'll give you information, but don't give you everything 100%. So we'll have to see where brandonaiyuk lands. If he do get traded, if he's in Pittsburgh, that'd be big time, because he'll help our team out a lot, and our team will be, we're already contending. I think we're a team that can contend for the playoffs, but with a guy like that added, with George Pickens, with the new O-line we got, new play calling, new quarterbacks we got, we might be contending for a AFC Championship game, or a Super Bowl potentially. We have to see what happens. But let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Peace out.